Captain America Brave New World is the fourth Captain America film and is actually not starring Steve Rogers. No. If you've seen Avengers Endgame, you will know that Steve Rogers had officially held up the shield for as long as he could and has now passed it on to Anthony Mackie's The Falcon. And I loved that character throughout the MCU. I loved his appearances in the Captain America films, and he's always been one of my favorite side characters in the MCU. So I was very interested to now see him take a protagonistic role in a movie, now that he's our new Captain America, which has been well established in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier show, which I thought was alright despite it failing with numerous character motivations and a few cringy sequences where it feels a bit too preachy. Now, Captain America Brave New World tells the story of the Falcon going into a new mission where there is a conspiracy going around to try and take down General Thunderbolt Ross, or in this case, President Thunderbolt Ross. He is now running for president, and this further makes a shift between him and his daughter more prevalent, and he's doing everything he can to try and make peace with some of the world's biggest countries and trying to form this treaty to get everyone along and to be able to work together and to hopefully reform the Avengers. Unfortunately, a villain from his past has came to the fold, and now, wait, is this a Captain America film or a General Thunderbolt Ross movie? Because it sounds like General Thunderbolt Ross is a protagonist. That would have been a pretty interesting sequel to The Incredible Hulk, because this movie has a lot of elements that feels like we are going into a direct sequel to The Incredible Hulk. A lot of characters from that film come back in major roles, and the plot line is basically a follow-up to The Incredible Hulk and the consequences of that movie. So, yeah, isn't this an Incredible Hulk sequel? Why is it called Captain America? I don't know. To be honest, Sam Wilson just feels more like a side character once again, but this time it is so undeserved because this is supposed to be his own movie. Yet, he feels regulated to the sidelines, and he's just trying to figure out the mission. And the characterization that he gets is basically a retread of what we saw in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He doesn't feel like he's worthy of the shield once again, and it's up to every one of his friends to try and uplift him and for him to figure out that he does deserve the shield just because he is who he is. Unfortunately, it's more compelling in the TV show than in this movie, because the TV show at least spent time with him as a character, exploring his life outside of being a superhero and how the world is affecting him and how he is affected by Steve giving him the shield and him becoming the new Captain America. It felt a lot more impactful in the show. Even though I don't really think that show is all that great, it had a lot of good characterization for Falcon's character, for the most part. Here, it just felt like a worse version of that. And it felt like we were just retreading old ground that we already know before. And some of the side characters are alright, but they are unfortunately really forgettable versions of characters that we've seen before. Cap's new sidekick just feels like a worse version of Sam Wilson when he was a Falcon. The new Black Widow, barely any character there. Not to mention the actress just doesn't really sell the fight sequences all that well to me. It just looked really awkward whenever she has to fight. I just didn't really buy her as a Black Widow assassin. She just did not really resonate with me in terms of the action side of things or the characterization. She just felt like a bland side character that's just there to move the plot along. two actors that are doing the most work to try and carry this film is Anthony Mackie and Harrison Ford, who is replacing William Hurt as General Thunderbolt Ross after the actor's passing. Now, Harrison Ford, he does a lot of movies lately where he just feels like he's phoning it in. Not here. He's giving it 100% his all. I really did buy him as General Thunderbolt Ross, though more so as a different version of the character. While he is supposed to be the same character, again, it's just not the same without the original actor, you know? He gives a different taste to General Thunderbolt Ross. He gives a lot more emotion and character to him, but he is really damn good in the film, and I really loved his performance, as well as Anthony Mackie. Whenever it's just these two characters together, just shooting the shit, they're fantastic, and their characters together are some of my favorite scenes in the entire film. I almost wish that I was watching a whole movie where it's just these two characters just trying to figure things out, trying to reconcile with their past, and trying to move forward to a brave new world, so the title says. Unfortunately, no, we don't really get that much of that. We just get like a worst plot line of the Winter Soldier, and it just felt rushed. It felt unearned, and the Red Hulk scene that was spoiled in the trailers, it's not a spoiler, it's in the first poster, it's the first thing you hear about the film. It's supposed to be a big reveal at the end. Why spoil that? Why save 5 minutes of Red Hulk action for the end and not like keep that a secret? And by the way, why connect so many fantastical elements like this with such a serious and grounded plot line? I really like the first half and how it's like a grounded spy thriller, but then it just derailed into standard superhero territory. Even some of the action, while it is fun, is nothing that I haven't seen before. And I just felt numb to it at few points at the end. Like, I just didn't care. Like, it wasn't badly filmed. I love the way this movie was shot. It was beautifully colorized. I love the cinematography in many cases, and the use of lighting and contrast. There's a lot of scenes that really do pop out at you, that they put a lot of effort into the look and presentation of the film. But the story, and the storylines, and the pacing, and the obvious reshoots that you could tell whenever there's a green screen going around, or when there's lines of dialogue that just feel like they are 80 yards in poorly, you could tell that this movie was just a jumbled mess of ideas that the filmmakers had no idea how to put together. Unfortunately, Captain America Brave New World is less than brave. It is standard, it is something that we've seen before, and the characters are bland, and I just didn't really buy into the story or the characters and what's happening. There's a few good elements in there and a few good performances, but all in all, this is by far the worst Captain America film, and I'm going to give Captain America Brave New World a C. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys next time.